Hi, it's Kuma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video in the Game and Craft series where I make artwork based off of video games that I'm currently into. If you've been watching this channel for a little while, you will know that my current obsession is Pokemon Go. I wanted to make Pokemon art because I recently went on a trip to Guam. There are regional Pokemon that you can only get in certain places, so I was able to catch some Pokemon that I can't get here in North America. I wanted to commemorate that trip by making some Pokemon art. That Pokemon will be Pansage, who is an elemental monkey, grass type, who is only found in the Asia Pacific regions. I'm also doing some traveling to Hawaii in a few days. The goal is to make 2 pieces of artwork of Pokemon that I catch in Guam and in Hawaii. I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope it's not too boring. If anything, you'll see some really beautiful shots of where I got to visit. Maybe you'll enjoy that at least. Let's go. My mom loves thrifting just as much as I do, if not more, and she found me this set of frames for $3.99, which was a really good deal. She knows I'm always looking for frames. I thought that this would be a good opportunity to use one of these. I like how small they are. They're only 4 inches. It allows me to make my projects a little bit smaller. Here, I'm just kind of measuring how large the piece needs to be and trimming it down to size. Then I printed out a photo of Pansage. I could not find a template for him like I did the Stardew Valley piece, but it's all good. Made it work. And then I took my mesh piece, put it on top of the printed image, and just traced it using a pen. Typically with needlepoint, you're supposed to work from the top right corner and work your way to the left, but I just kind of go where I feel like. Sometimes you just gotta do you. And you might be wondering if I've learned any new stitches since my Stardew Valley piece, and I am proud to announce that no, I haven't. So here I am just doing the 10 stitch / continental stitch all the way through. I am a creature of habit. This is what I know. This is what I'm doing. So that's what it will be. Now, since you have been watching this video for this amount of time, I'm going to assume that you are a fellow Pokemon lover. So let me just tell you a little bit about the elemental monkeys. Here I'm working on Pansage. I've already told you about him, but there are 2 others. There is Panpour, who is native, I say in quotation marks as if they are living endemic species, to the Americas and to Greenland. Panpour is a water type Pokemon. And then there is Pansear, who is fire type and is exclusive to Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and India. So it was my personal goal to catch all 3 within their native regions. I do have all 3 monkeys because there was an event recently to celebrate Pokemon Concierge. If you haven't seen that show, it's an amazing show. But anyway, I do have all 3 now because there was an event, so you can catch them regardless of region. However, I do still really want to catch a Pansear in its region specific location. Later this year, I am actually going to India, so I am hoping so badly that I can catch a Pansear there and finish the trifecta of the elemental monkeys. I love the region exclusivity of these Pokemon because it just makes it so much more fun to travel to a new place and see Pokemon that you've never seen before. It's just an excitement I could only really tell you about because I don't know if you've experienced that yourself. But if you have, you understand me. Was that really 4 minutes of me rambling? Okay, I'll cut this down. To show you the depth of my dedication to my craft, I even brought my project with me to my market. I always bring projects when I have markets because if it ends up being a slower day, then I will at least have something to work on and I'll feel like I did something productive. I also find that as an introvert with social anxiety, it also helps me. I have something to focus on, and then people might feel more comfortable approaching me also if I'm not just, staring at them. I think that it makes it more comfortable for all parties involved. I also think that it could help strike up a conversation with people because people might ask me what I'm working on. Just some introvert tips for you. Introverts in extrovert fields, am I right? So sorry about this crotch angle. I was trying to find a way to prop my phone up and was kind of unsuccessful. The market was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I was able to partake. The next day, I wanted to work on this as much as I could because I'd be leaving for Hawaii the next day. You can't tell, but the shirt I'm wearing is one that I got at a swap meet in Guam for $5, and it just says "what the hell" on it. I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It has nothing to do with Guam, but I love it. I'm pretty sure this has been worn before me. There's some weird stains, but it's okay because the message is what matters. The day finally arrived for us to to go to Maui. It was about a 5-hour plane ride, so plenty of time for me to work on my project. The only issue is that I didn't bring scissors on board, obviously, so I just had to do what I could. When we got to Maui, I was just in awe, like, we're here? This is where we get to be for the next week? One thing about me, though, is that I don't know how to relax while I'm on vacation. I learned that I'm the type that just likes to go, 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 but because my partner had caught a cold and I wasn't feeling very well, it really forced me to chill. Chilling on vacation, what a concept, one that I am unfamiliar with. I actually had quite a bit of downtime just to work on my project, which was nice. So this was the view from our hotel. Absolutely beautiful. Could just walk to the beach in the morning, and I did that as much as I could. I've been kind of obsessed with fish lately. I mean, not even lately, I've just always had a deep fascination and appreciation. Obviously, I had to go snorkeling as often as I could, and we went to the Maui Ocean Center, which was amazing. I got to learn a lot about coral and a lot about the local fish, so when we went snorkeling, it was even more amazing to be able to identify some of the fish we were seeing. It was about halfway through the trip, however, where I really started to not feel so well. Here is a clip of me in my sick, delusional state, bedridden, wondering how this happened.
Hello from the other side. That's my Adele impression. If you can't tell, I'm ill and I'm bedridden at the moment, which is a total bummer considering that I am in literal paradise right now, but it is what it is. What can you do? I was really hoping to finish my art project. Clearly that just hasn't happened, but you gotta give yourself some grace. Sometimes things just don't go your way. Do I sound cool or just geriatric? Let me know. It's not so bad if I'm gonna be sick anywhere in the world, I guess. It's not so bad to be sick in Hawaii. I could be sick in Ohio. Sorry, no Ohio slander. I'm sure Ohio's a nice place. Okay, I can't talk anymore, so I'll catch up with you later.
I was well enough to haul myself onto the plane and survive during the flight. Now, this is very dramatic. It just took a few days and I was back to normal. I did my best to finish this piece and I realized that I ran out of the darker blue I was using. I wanted it to kind of look like the sky and the water, but now it's kind of confusing. While doing this, I also realized that I forgot to make the gaps between his arms the darker blue. I did what anyone would do and grabbed a Sharpie that was the same color, miraculously the only Sharpie that I had, and just colored on top of that. It worked surprisingly well. Since all of you seem to have enjoyed my Stardew Valley presentation, of course we needed to add one in here, and this one will be all about the monkey Pokemon. At least the monkey Pokemon that I'm familiar with. We will be putting them in a tier list ranking, and I will give you my honest opinions on them. First off, let's start with Mankey. I don't really care for Mankey if I'm being honest. I think that the design leaves a lot to be desired. Are you a pig or are you a monkey? I guess that's the thing. We don't really know. Therefore, I'm gonna have to give Mankey a D because I don't really like its feet. It's kind of like pronged like a bird, so a D for me. Next, we'll talk about IPOM. I really do like IPOM. Is it APOM or IPOM? I don't really know. What I do know is that the colors are fun. I like how IPOM has a hand on its tail, but no hands on the ends of its arms. I guess it would be too powerful if it had too many appendages. I'm gonna have to give IPOM an A because I like the design. I think it's really cute. Looks like something that would be in Super Monkey Ball. We won't talk about IPOM's evolution because that is a terrifying design. Next is Chimchar. I feel like Chimchar looks like it belongs in a Disney movie as a sidekick. I don't love Chimchar's animation in Pokemon Go specifically because he kind of moves his head from side to side and it scares me. So I'm gonna have to dock a few notches down for the animation alone. The design is quite cute, but I don't like looking at Chimchar in games, so I'm gonna have to give Chimchar a D. Next is the Elemental Monkeys, which I'll get S tier for me. Pansage is a star of the show. I love everything about Pansage. Panpour, adorable. I love how happy he looks. Pansear, I love Pansear. So S tier for me. Is Darmanitan a monkey? Darmanitan is a Daruma. Nevertheless, I do love the Pokemon in general. I have a shiny Darmanitan that my brother gave me, and it is one of my favorite Pokemon. So S tier for me. Grookey, you can't go wrong with Grookey. So S tier. Wacky, I don't really care for. Wacky will get a C for me. Rillaboom, I'm quite fond of. Rillaboom has a really unique animation for their like
max attack. I don't know what it's called. Mushrooms grow, and I think that's really cute. So Rillaboom will get an A for me. Last, we will do Passimian. Passimian's a really cool Pokemon. I like that he has like a little ball, or is it a melon? I'm not really sure. He's a really cool looking monkey. I will give Passimian an A. So all the monkeys, in my opinion, that I have rated at least, are pretty high on the tier list. I think they're really fun designs. This has been my presentation. Let me know your thoughts. Please don't send hate to me. These are just my opinions. Let me know your favorite monkey type Pokemon down below. Let's get back to the video.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hope that you enjoyed it. We're at the home stretch now. I'm just working hard to get this thing done at this point because as much fun as I was having, I think the best feeling comes when it's done. At least for Needlepoint. The satisfaction you get from seeing everything come together, there's nothing like it. Putting it inside the frame was quite satisfying. Love when everything fits together. But enough yapping, let's take a look at the final results.
Hello, you've made it to the end of this video, like I have hopefully made it to the end of my cold. I am sounding still ill. Huh. Rhymed. Here is my Pansage. It's not the masterpiece I thought it might be. You saw me filling in stitches with marker. That actually did camouflage my stitches quite well. That is a hack for you if you just want to make some art for your home and don't really have plans on selling it or anything. I'm noticing now that I forgot some stitches in the arm. Though he's not perfect, he is a reminder of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making him, and also of all the joyful times I had on my vacation. Hopefully I'll get better soon so I can continue working on some cool stuff for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see what else I've been up to, check my Instagram. I have more stuff there. I will see you in the next one. Bye!